First thing I see is a huge wide stance.
Yes, sir.
Man,
This woman locks her knees back. I
wow.
know that sounds silly, but when a lot of times people start doing our programs, you'll hear a lot of things like lock your knees back, tighten your thighs. This is a particular individual who needs to connect that to something because she has hyper locked her knees back. Yes, she's gone a little bit too far with that. Yes, right there.
Wow.
And therefore, she has to widen her stance because if you lock your knees back that far, um, you're going the wrong direction. So you widen up that stance.
Yeah, she's so off balance.
Mm-hmm. But yet she's got really strong glutes, really strong back, really strong quads. But she's tight strong. So this is probably one of those individuals that like could stretch her quads for days.
Shoulders off, obviously.
Shoulders are off. They're off. But the legs showed us why, right? Look
Yeah.
at the shoulder that's most off and then go look at the leg underneath it.
Yeah.
Right, they're not in the right spot. And if people have a hard time thinking about that, imagine her legs as the kickstand on your bicycle when you were a kid back in the day, right? So
Hmm.
her spine is she's very much working on staying centered. She's really trying to stay centered. Actually, she looks better when you just look from her waist up. But then you see the disproportionate, like she can't hold all that together. So she's got her legs kicked out like kickstands, and then she's kind of dropping in and
I feel like
being
this woman
tight.
should not be doing cardiovascular exercise.
Really?
I
I
just
put
feel
her
like
on
it's
a bicycle.
problematic there.
I put her on a bicycle.
Oh yeah.
If that's what you mean. Step aerobics in the monthly middle, she might hurt her knees. I don't know. I never like to tell people not to do something. I would tell this girl to stop walking in flip-flops though.
Yeah.
And I say that because I even see the tan lines of the flip-flops on her feet.
Yeah.
I really do see these things, guys. And so what that tells me is if she's living in flip-flops and they're stupid flip-flops, she's perpetuating her problem because you have to grip your toes to hold your flip-flops on. So a lot of people with this body type should probably get out of a flip-flop, but they love flip-flops because it perpetuates the inner thighs are walking, the bigger duck foot. You put her in a proper shoe or no shoes even, right? Like almost be like, take your shoes off.
So how's the plum look for you?
Rotation, rotation, rotation. Also anterior tilt. So this is she's got an anterior tilt with knees locked back. What does that look like? You can almost see her knee is too close to the plumb line. Most people are too far off of it. She's a little too close. It should be half an inch back, but that's because she's got a lot of strain through the back of her knee.
Right.
And that's why she kind of circulates around with her feet and her toes are holding onto the earth. Again, I think she did it by wearing flip-flops. I feel like Sherlock Holmes, but I say that because the anterior tilt on this woman is pronounced. It gives her a great butt, but it also is hijacking her lumbar because it's not curvaceously in her thoracic. Like we can't even see her back. We can't see her rib cage. So she's got a lot of military posture happening up top, which some people can relate to. Shoulders back, chest up. And then from the belly button down, she's got to widen up her stance to support shoulders back, chest up because she doesn't have the hip strength because she's in an anterior pelvic tilt. But she's a strong anterior pelvic tilt, which is kind of funny. Like
So her psoas is a monster.
her psoas is tight, her quads are tight, her erectors are tight, her quadratus lumborum is tight. Everything in that mid back area is tight, more on the back and the front. And then she's probably someone who's always like, oh, why don't I have a flat stomach? Because she has an anterior pelvic tilt. So she'll never really have that flat front until the back drops down. And it's not a one is better than the other. It's everything all together, one at a time, go. Right? Like you can't pull one sheet without, pulleys, rigging systems, anything. We pull on this woman, her backside's really tight, her front side's not getting enough activity, except for head forward position. Anterior tilt, condition 1, if you're reading the books, she's a condition 1 all day long. Right, trying to get it to some things if people are educating themselves.
Now with
one?
glutes this built, that's got to be putting some strain on her femurs, right?
Let's think about that. It's participating in the strain. It's participating in the strain. She needs more inner thighs to balance those glutes.
So the glutes are causing a big imbalance.
The anterior pelvic tilt is causing the balance.
Right.
And I guess I like to say that because it's not answering the question, but it's never one muscle, just like it's never one vitamin. Like they all have to be, it's nutrition, right? So we can talk about her glutes, but we can
nutrient, not vitamin, nutrient.
Yes, you see, like, right.
Yeah,
I'm not in
I
my
got
wheel.
you.
Yeah.
It's a good analogy. It's a great analogy.
But you see, like, even her little window around her hips, right? There's a teeny tiny window on the right side. And now go lower. She's got a second story window.
Oh yeah, look at that.
And I say that that's where that's her tell right there. That's the only way I can tell that her right hip is just cranking harder than her left. It's just working harder right there, period. And it's pushing her over and hiking her up just a teeny tiny bit.
And there's nothing here really.
Nothing, not less. There's
and this one's less.
Yeah.
And this one's more.
But you can really tell it because see, that's why I think it's a better answer when you say, well, what are those glutes doing? Well, they're hijacking things. They're strong, and the left one, the right are imbalanced. And you're like, look, it's just a little teeny tiny tail right there in that corner.
And we can see her hand, so we got shoulder rotation for sure.
And then you can see, oh wow, well that leg is actually more torqued and twisted. The right one. Right, so it all starts to show. And then if you look in her front, you're like, that right hip does look like a little higher now, doesn't it? And then the right knee's a little higher. Then after a while, you go, oh, that's what her glutes are doing. Where on some of our clients, it's like their calves are holding. So yes, the glutes are doing too much, but the irony is we do need our glutes to walk. So glutes can, at least they're walking. Look at all those beautiful muscles. But that knee, imagine that knee just pushing back. Ouch. And it can do that.
Yeah, she's way over here.
Yeah, exactly. Draw your plumb line on there.
I don't know if I can. No, I can't.
Oh, you can't? Okay. So it would go from here, right? Here's that malleola or that ankle bone where we always start our plumb line. It's right in front of that bone. And then it goes straight up through exactly all that white stuff, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. And it kind of is here. It lands here in this field right here. And that's why I said it's so minimalistic, but hers lands closer to here, which means she's got a lot of strain going that way and pushing back. So she's going to have stretch on the back of her legs. There's a muscle there called your popliteus. Its job is to help unlock your knee in propulsion, and it's probably very weary because it's what is it called? POP. It's this cute one. POPL. Yeah, it's right back there, and it's really deep.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is. Let's go in on it.
And I mean, it's really weird, but you start to have these strange relationships. Like when I think of Popolitis, I think of Mario Brothers and some little guy being like Luigi, or I don't know. It's like he's a character to me, this muscle, because his job is to unlock the knee, lock and unlock the knee.
Right.
Well, and you can see there's like, and that might seem weird, but when you start to unlock and lock your knee, that's when your knee can swivel in and out. That's why I say when the leg is locked out, now you're moving from your hip, right? But when your knee's bent, if this was my knee, that lets you like a sport person. And then if you cut that wrong, all of a sudden ACL and all those other injuries we know so dearly. But this is a great Yeah, look at it does. Oh, love these. So look at the side view of this person. Just turn him sideways. He doesn't like sideways.
There we go.
Boom. There's a beautiful thing. Too much glute, we lose the lumbar curve. It gets super accentuated. And that's why the belly falls forward. Too much abdominals, which actually can happen, we lose the butt. So it's gotta be balanced, guys. It's never one thing.
The tug of war. Here's the glute that we were talking about.
Love the glute. Right. So that's what the glute's job is to do. It's to pull the femur back. So because if someone's locking their leg back though, and their glute is like, oh, I'm supposed to turn on, right? Because now the knee's trying to go back, but the foot's
so she's got the big booty. So you're saying the glutes is contributing to pulling the knees back.
The glutes are probably assisting.
Yeah.
I know I'm being particular about words. The disposition is in her feet, right? The issue is her feet are not where they're supposed to be. So once her feet start doing what they're supposed to be doing, the glutes can stop trying to be posture muscles.
Right.
Your mover muscles. This is what I'm poorly saying. Muscles divide into groups. There's posture muscles, there's mover muscles, there's long muscles, there's short muscles, there's muscles that are supposed to burst in energy. When mover muscles turn into posture muscles, we get pain, right? The glute is a huge muscle. It's meant to do squats. It's what makes people jump. It gives you that kick in the end of the run. It's when I know you like wrestling, when that guy gets way down this massive squat and then leaps up and throws his opponent across the room, right? Glutes are critical, but glutes without feet under them are just big glutes. Don't have any power. This is beautiful. Look at that movement. So yeah, you look at that and then you can look at our gal and you can see, wow, as soon as her knees are where they need to be, she'll do much better. But the knees are not where they need to be, so the glutes don't get a break. That's the way to talk about it, Dr. Reese. Never get a break.
What's 1 or 2 corrective exercises that should be in her protocol?
Static back, sitting, adductor presses. I would stick her back down and I would do double switch. A fun thing with a gal like this is she's got half the battle. The hips are strong, they're out of balance. Sometimes it's easier to get someone who's more in a hyperextension, because at least we know they can stand up. I know that sounds really strange, but she's got that ta-da at the end of a gymnast. So we know she can go in extension. She's in extension. We just need to calm her down and balance out her hips. So it's a lot of unwinding, but double switch, abdominals, anything that makes her legs straight and her inner thighs active, period. She's not in a bad place. She's just probably very frustrated.
She has bad back pain.
She does. But remember the little window up above?
Yeah.
When your glutes are too tight, this I will say definitively, when your glutes are too tight, you can have back pain. Less from the knee issue, but more on the back pain. Because imagine that she just would like to sit down and relax. But when she sits down, all of that's still like working. When we sit, our glutes go into a different mode, right? They're supposed to lengthen.
Right.
So if she kept this up, we might hear from her later. She's got a sciatica or piriformis, because strong glutes can cramp down on that sciatic nerve, especially when it's in the butt. And it's probably going to be sciatica on the left because the butt's too tight on the right. And that's that teeny tiny little window I saw near the forearm above. Otherwise, she's going to get sciatica on the right, but I'm not saying she's going to get it. This is a person that would walk into our clinic and be like, I have sciatica and nobody knows why. And we would say, well, you have overdeveloped glutes. You're missing your thoracic and your lumbar curve. They've become shortened. You can see like there's a dent. We can stick our fingers under her sports bra in the back because she's so built there. Yeah. Okay. You see that right there? There's like, I can put my fingers under there. Very, very strong back muscles, too strong. And the glutes are aiding that. because the knees are not doing their job.
Now, should she stop going to the gym and doing all the?
Oh, I don't, that is she like a power lifter and things like that?
No, she does, kickboxing and all that type of stuff.
She just needs to she needs to spend time rebalancing. That's it.
Yeah.
I would rather her keep moving than not. I would say that about anybody. I would always keep you. But if she does kickboxing, another thing, you just told me something. So I bet you she loves to kick with one leg way more than the other.
Hmm.
I would ask her. Because that roundhouse kick, again, your wrestling thing, right? You get one leg stancing and the other one comes up around. I bet she loves to stand on her left and lift up her right. And when she has to stand on her right, she probably and kick with her left, it's probably not as good.
All right. Postural therapy to the rescue.